Hello, everybody. My name is Zachary Shea, and today we are going to be talking about technology and the privacy that we lost. So, first things first, we have to know what an invasion of privacy actually is. And according to Monteagudo, it is the unjustifiable intrusion into the impersonal life of another without consent. Now, what this means is that it is an invading of our personal space to try and gather knowledge about ourselves and in complete secrecy from large or small corporations. Now, why is digital privacy so important? Well, it's because as humans, we are supposed to have freedom as we live our lives and as we please. And we want to always have some sort of feeling that we have this freedom or actually even have this freedom. So when our digital privacy is lost, we actually unfortunately lose this. And unfortunately, there are some people and corporations out there that do not care about this and would rather digital privacy to be lost than for humans to have it. Now, these corporations are large technological corporations. These corporations are Instagram, Amazon, and Google. Now, what these three have done are actually very awful things. And first, for Instagram, what it has done was that it has been known to collect data and sell it off to other third-party companies without our permission, as well as use the camera feature when it is unauthorized to be used. The next is Amazon, and it is for the invasion of privacy with Alexa recording and the data that they save with each conversation made. Additionally, about how weak their security is with Ring cameras and how that can lead to very dangerous consequences. Lastly is Google and how they are able to infiltrate the private search option incognito and see what exactly people are looking at for data collection, for ads, and analytics. So, how did Instagram be able to invade privacy? Well, according to A10, Instagram allowed for a Francisco based marketing agency, Hyper, to flout its rules and collect information from millions of users. What this means was that Instagram enabled a third party to steal data from individuals for up to 1 million users a month, allowing data breaches to be incredibly scary if this data were to be released. Some of this data included locations and photos of people, and that is just honestly very scary because if that were leaked and hackers were able to attain this information, they could use it against people as bribery or other forms like that. Now, another thing Instagram was known for doing was that they were in actually a class action complaint was the fact that according to Eric, were accused to use the camera feature to record and take pictures of individuals as they use the app without their permission. Now, this breaches the invasion of privacy because people wouldn't want pictures of themselves taken without their permission or videos as well, because this leads to terrible outcomes as well of stalking and just inappropriate behavior that can arise with hackers where they can actually infiltrate the recording and capturing software and be able to take pictures for bribery or be able to find locations of people and sell them out to the internet for people on the black market to be able to purchase and hide. Next is Amazon. And what did Amazon exactly do for their invasion of privacy? Well, according to Kreidler, they were able to use the voice recordings and forever feed it into its voice-related algorithms. What this means is that they were able to record the voices that they got from Alexa and the conversations that the users had, and they were able to record it and use it for their own data collection to be able to enhance themselves more. And additionally, they even lied and said that they weren't doing this, but in fact, they were actually found to not have deleted any of the logs, and all of the logs were actually being saved and sent straight to the main hub. And this can actually be led to a very bad situation of a data breach if it were to occur. Additionally, Ring, another Amazon company, was found in trouble for its poor privacy and lax security, according to Pug. And it enabled employees to be able to spy on customers through their cameras, including those in their bedrooms, bathrooms, and made customers' videos, including videos of kids, vulnerable to online attacks. Now, this is honestly very scary because if you had a camera inside your house, you would assume that it's only for you to look at and not for anybody else's eyes to be able to lay their eyes upon your house. But if there is a camera able to look and see your every movements and also your family's every movements, that can be very scary because they can also use that as bribery and be able to use that to stalk you and stare at you guys while you're doing things in your own private lives. Lastly is Google, and what did Google do in order to invade our privacy? Well, Google has this mode called incognito mode, which is to enable the user to privately look at things without others being able to track the data or see it. So let's say someone wanted to look for engagement rings, then they can look on incognito, so then their future partner wouldn't be able to see that they're looking for engagement rings. However, during a proposed class action, Google was sued for, apparently by Reuters, illegally invading the privacy of millions of users by persuasively tracking their internet use through browsers set in this private mode. Now, what this means is that they were able to actually look through the incognito mode and be able to gather the data of what they were searching and be able to apply it to the Google Analytics and the Google Ad Manager, further progressing the ads that were shown and the analytics that were created of those people searching on incognito mode. Now, what are some global and ethical issues with technology and privacy? Well, there actually are two places in particular that were able to fix this global issue in their own regions. As for example, the European Union, how they were able to combat this was that they were able to create the General Data Protection Regulation, which according to Wilfred was and still is the toughest privacy and security law in the world. What it's able to do is protect data processing, data subjects, data controllers, and data processors, including all personal information and all private information that companies are not allowed to get or receive from information that the user is able to input into the website or application. Additionally, Brazil was able to do the same thing where they created something that was very similar to the GDPR. And what they were able to do was that they were able to regulate it where it wasn't only large corporations, because the GDPR from the EU was only for large corporations, and if those large corporations were to break this law, they would have to pay a 20 million euro fee or 4% of the company income, which was greater. Now, as for Brazil, what they were able to do was not only target the large corporations, but they were able to, according to Rippy, target all businesses, whether it was small or large. Depending on the size of the company, does not depend on the money, because depending on what it is, they would sue the same amount of money. Now, this is also very good, because if it was small companies scamming a lot of people, then all of them would be in very big trouble, because they would lose so much money and they would just go under. And what it protected was personal data and sensitive personal data, which personal data was just such as favorite places to go to eat and stuff like that, while sensitive data was location, gender, and religion and political beliefs. Now, the ethical issue is utilitarianism. And what that is that it means, according to the Ethics Unwrapped team, is the right and wrong that are best determined by focusing on outcomes of the actions and choices. So, in other words, it's the success for all for the loss of some. Now, there's an example of a hospital where, let's say, there were 4 people that needed 4 different organs in order to be able to survive. One needed a liver, one needed a heart, one needed a brain, and one needed a new lung. Now, let's say a healthy individual with all 4 of these very healthy organs were to walk in, what would rather be the more ethical issue? To be able to kill the one to save the 4, or to save the one and keep them alive than to save the 4? That is where the debate of ethical or unethical comes up. Now, that's also another debate with technology, because as we create more technology, the more options to choose from, whether it's ethical or unethical, arise. For example, security cameras. We can say that that is very ethical usage of technology, because security cameras are used to be able to track down and hunt down bad people and also watch our very own movements. And additionally, the TSA, where they have been able to track and hunt and stop down people who are trying to illegally trade drugs and other substances, or even smuggle on explosives or very bad things onto planes, such as 9/11. Now, in conclusion, the digital age and the invasion of privacy are both very scary things, but also very interesting things as well. Because as technology continues to grow, so does the invasion of privacy, but also ways to stop this invasion of privacy. Google, Instagram, and Amazon are also along with the invasion of privacy, and there are also no way going to stop unless they are fully shut down from it or a very certain law is made, just like how the EU and Brazil was able to put laws to stop these corporations from doing anything more than they can. Additionally, the ethical issue of utilitarianism is also very good, because we don't know actually if it's actually unethical or ethical. It's always however you look at the technology that is being presented. Because if it were security cameras, it would be very ethical. But if it was something else, like companies trying to steal information to be able to use it for their own personal gain, that is very unethical, because it's not with our permission. And that was my presentation, and thank you. Here are the references, and have an amazing rest of your day.